Batman Arkham Asylum's Platinum Trophy was stressful, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you how I got it. Starting with the first achievement, Free Flow Combo 5, where I have to get a 5x combo. After Joker escapes his chains, he opens the nearby jail cells, letting the prisoners out. In the process of beating them up, I got the 5x combo and the trophy. The next trophy, Shocking Rescue, I got for taking down Zsasz. Zsasz is holding a security guard hostage in an electric chair. He says if he sees Batman, he will kill the security guard. There are gargoyles surrounding the room that we can use to our advantage. Once on a gargoyle, I throw a batarang and take out Zsasz, getting the trophy. The trophy Leave No Man Behind I get for rescuing the guards from Joker's toxin. While looking for Joker, I came across this room where Joker has released his Joker toxin into the room. Going into the room, I find a couple of guards hanging on for dear life as they're about to fall into the toxin. I save them both and eventually save a nearby henchman. After Batman punches the henchman, we get the trophy. After this, we keep looking for Joker. We find him in this room standing on top of a huge jail cell. When Joker opens the cell, a deformed henchman comes out. Why this henchman is deformed like this, we will talk about later. The way you defeat the henchmen is when they charge at you, throw a batarang and jump out of the way. After doing this a couple of times, the henchman has a heart attack and dies. Joker ends up getting away and we get the trophy. Joker calls us on a monitor and shows us that one of the officers is actually on Joker's side and has taken Commissioner Gordon hostage. We go to where Gordon was taken and we find that the corrupt guard was drinking and left behind some alcohol. We scan the alcohol and follow the trail. Eventually we find a group of prisoners. While beating them up, I get the trophy for getting a 10x combo and the trophy for getting a 20x combo. The trail to find Gordon leaves us to leave the building that we've been in. Just before I leave, I scan a riddle and get a trophy for solving 5% of Riddler challenges. Riddler has many collectibles spread around the asylum. Things like Riddler trophies, riddles, Joker teeth, and Amadeus Arkham messages. There are 240 collectibles in total and we need to get all of them for multiple different trophies. So I will be collecting them as I go along. While following the trail, we get the trophy Born Free for escaping from intensive treatment to the island surface. We also get the trophy Cryptic Investigator for solving 10% of Riddler challenges. The trail eventually leads us to the medical building, so we head inside. When I make my way in, I find a room crawling with armed inmates. They have all the doctors rounded up and you can hear Joker over the intercom telling them to do so. This is our first Predator room. In this game there are either combat rooms or Predator rooms. You've already seen combat rooms. Combat rooms consist of a bunch of inmates that you have to beat up. Predator rooms consist of inmates that are armed with guns. The main goal of a Predator room is to clear the room silently and stealthily. Combat in Predator rooms get progressively more difficult as the game goes on, but because this room is the first Predator room, it's very easy. After taking out all the inmates, I talk to the doctors and they say there are more doctors in the medical building that need to be saved. The first doctor is being held at gunpoint in this room. We can use our explosive gel to destroy the weak walls behind the inmates, knocking them out. Also, I just want to mention, how in the hell did this doctor survive? I mean, she's surrounded by rubble, but she's somehow untouched. Anyway, the next doctor is in a room trapped with Joker toxin. Around the room there are 3 fans that we can turn on to flush the toxin out and save the doctor. The final doctor is in a room strapped to a chair. There are also inmates in this room that we have to beat up. After beating them up and letting the doctor out of the chair, we get the trophy. The next trophy, Daydreamer, we get for surviving the nightmare of Scarecrow's fear gas. After saving the doctors, we decide to keep following the trail to find Gordon. The trail leads us to an elevator that takes us below the medical building. We find Gordon, but he isn't moving. Batman checks his pulse, but no good. Gordon is dead. Around the corner, we see a flash and a silhouette of a person. I follow the silhouette to find out who killed Gordon. At the end of the hallway, I find the morgue, and inside there are 3 body bags. Opening the body bags, I find Batman's mother, father, and Scarecrow, who jump scares us. We then find ourselves in this nightmarish world. We see a huge Scarecrow in the middle, spinning in a circle. We also have to avoid his sight because if he spots us, we're dead. At the end of the level, we find a bat signal. If we shine the light at Scarecrow, the nightmare ends and we get the trophy. For those of you wondering, no, Gordon isn't actually dead. What happened is Scarecrow released some of his fear toxin on us, and when he does that, we see things that aren't real. We decide to keep looking for Gordon and we find him in the next room over. After rescuing Gordon, we decide to keep looking around. We find Bane, but he doesn't look like his normal self. Bane says that someone named Dr. Young has drained all of the Titan venom out of his blood and has been doing experiments on him. At this point, Joker hears that Bane is saying too much and re-injects Bane with the Titan venom. Bane's muscles grow big, and once he breaks out of his chains, he attacks Batman. Once this happens, a boss fight starts. This boss fight really isn't any different from the deformed henchman fight from earlier. The only difference being when Bane's health gets below a certain point, we can jump on his back and remove some of the tubes so he can't refill his health. This fight is normally easy, but it was actually pretty difficult, probably because I'm playing the game on the hardest difficulty. It's required to beat the game on the hardest difficulty to get 3 separate trophies, but more on that later. After finally beating Bane, I got the trophy. After this, Batman decides to try and figure out why Dr. Young was doing experiments on Bane and draining him of the Titan venom. We head to the Batcave nearby to do some research. Batman figures out that the Joker contacted Dr. Young and asked her to recreate the Titan venom. Dr. Young agreed, not knowing that she was talking to the Joker. She started experimenting on Bane and she finally found a way to recreate the venom. However, she eventually found out it was the Joker contacting her, so she never told him what the formula was to recreate the venom. That's why the Joker is here at Arkham Asylum. He wants the formula so he can turn his henchmen into Bane-like creatures, so he can use them to take over all of Gotham. We decide to head towards Arkham Mansion because that's where Dr. Young keeps her research. On the way there, we get the trophy Lateral Thinker for solving 25% of Riddler challenges. Also, entering Arkham Mansion gives us the trophy Breaking and Entering. After looking around for a while and following Dr. Young's fingerprints, we find the formula. After destroying the formula, Joker comes on the intercom and says that it doesn't matter because he already got the formula. We decide to go after him, but while leaving the room, Scarecrow pumps some fear toxin through the vents. We are put into another nightmare sequence, which is very similar to the first one. After getting to the end and shining the light on Scarecrow, the nightmare is over and we get the trophy Recurring Nightmare. We hear Joker announce that Zsasz has Dr. Young hostage. We find Zsasz, but he says that if he sees us, he will kill the doctor. Luckily for us, Zsasz isn't smart, and he will peek his head out, which we can throw a battering at to knock him out. Doing this gives us the trophy. It seems like Dr. Young is safe, but this won't last long. Dr. Young opens a safe where she keeps the rest of her research. When she opens the safe, it is rigged with a bomb that explodes, killing Dr. Young and knocking out Batman. When Batman wakes up, we are in a daze, but we see Harley Quinn has captured the warden over Arkham Asylum. When Harley was taking the warden away, she punched him, which caused his staff to break. There is liquid inside of the staff that we can scan to see where the warden was taken. While following the trail, we get the trophy Mystery Solver for solving 40% of Riddler's challenges. The trail takes us to the penitentiary building. We eventually find the warden and cut him loose. After this, we see Harley is still in the building, and we decide to go after her. She probably has answers on the Joker's whereabouts. When we find her, she tries to attack us, but we block the attack. We then put her in one of the jail cells. While in the cell, she accidentally tells us that Joker has a secret Titan lab in the botanical gardens. We decide to go to the gardens to stop Joker. Also, because we locked up Harley, we got the trophy Solitary Confinement. While heading towards the gardens, we get the trophy Conundrum Cracker for solving 55% of Riddler's challenges. We also get the trophy Night Glider for continuously gliding for 100 meters. After this, I head into the botanical gardens. After looking around for a while and collecting collectibles, I eventually find the secret lab. Joker and two of his henchmen are in the lab. Joker injects the two henchmen with the Titan formula, causing them to turn into monsters. Joker gets away, leaving us to deal with the two Titan henchmen. Taking these guys out was very easy, and after we get done, we get the trophy Double Trouble. Also, while fighting the henchmen, one of them runs into the Titan containers in the room, destroying the containers. However, this isn't good enough because Joker got away with enough Titan to still cause us problems. We decide we need to make an antidote to counteract the Titan formula. Apparently, Titan venom comes from a certain plant hybrid. Luckily for us, the plant lady, aka Poison Ivy, is in the botanical gardens. We decide to ask her if she knows of a plant that could work as an antidote. Eventually, she tells us she knows of a plant that would work, but it's in Killer Croc's lair. Killer Croc's lair is located below the intensive treatment building, so we decide to head that way. Also, when we get close to the exit of the botanical gardens building, we see Ivy's plants growing out of control. We learn that Joker has injected Ivy with some Titan, but this will be more important later on. Anyway, once we get to the intensive treatment building, we make our way towards Killer Croc's lair. However, while heading that way, the screen glitches and the game resets. For those of you who have played the game before, you know that this is the third Scarecrow nightmare sequence. This one is the same as the other two except for the end. At the end of the nightmare, right as we were about to shine the light on Scarecrow, he injects us with more fear toxin, extending the nightmare. We end up in this arena where we have to fight 3 waves of enemies. After the third wave, the light turns on and we shine it towards Scarecrow, ending the nightmare. After the nightmare is over, the trophy pops up. Now we continue our way towards Killer Croc's lair. Along the way, we get the trophy Mental Athlete for solving 70% of Riddler's challenges. Once we make it to Killer Croc's lair, we look for the plants. There are 5 plants in Killer Croc's lair that we have to collect the venom from. After collecting all the venom, we decide to leave Croc's lair. When we make our way towards the exit, the gate shuts, locking us in the lair, and Croc jumps out of his water and starts to run after us. Luckily for us, there's a weak floor between us and Croc, which I sprayed with explosive gel earlier. When Croc gets close, I explode the floor and Croc falls down the hole. We then lift up the gate and escape and get the trophy Crocodile Tears. We then make our way to the Batcave so we can make an antidote. Once the antidote is finished, we start to leave the Batcave, but Poison Ivy's plants start growing even more out of control. The exit is blocked, so we have to exit the Batcave a different way. We decide to go through the underground caves and try to find another exit. We end up in this room, and when we enter the room, all the electric gates turn on, trapping us in the room. Joker knows that we are here and sends a Titan thug down and multiple inmates after us. I was really worried about this fight because I remember when I beat this game on the hardest difficulty years ago, this part was the hardest part of the game. During this fight, I got the trophy for riding a Titan henchman and knocking down 10 10 thugs. I also got the trophy for getting a 40x combo. The fight went on and it wasn't actually that bad. The small room actually played in my favor because when I would start to ride the Titan henchman, I could knock down multiple thugs with his attack. In fact, this fight is so easy I did it my first try. After this, I head to the botanical gardens. When I get there, I try to inject Ivy with the antidote, but she refuses and a boss fight starts. This boss fight is one of the best in the whole Arkham franchise, which is actually funny because it's followed by one of the worst, if not the worst boss fight in the whole Arkham franchise, but more on that later. The boss fight has 2 stages. In the first stage, Ivy summons multiple plants to certain parts of the boss fight arena. If you get stuck in these plants, you lose a lot of health, so it's best to jump out of the way. The next stage, Poison Ivy shoots these red balls towards you and it does a lot of damage, so again, best to jump out of the way. While I'm dodging these attacks, I throw a batarang in between jumps and it slowly takes down Ivy's health. Eventually, Ivy's health gets so low that the plant that she's in falls over and I can go up to it and spray some of the antidote. This isn't enough to stop Ivy and round 2 starts. Round 2 is very similar to round 1 except Ivy puts thugs in the arena, making it a little bit harder, but not that much harder. After a while of dodging and throwing batarangs, Ivy's plant falls down once more. After I spray the antidote, the effects of the Titan begin to wear off and the boss fight is over. I got the trophy for beating Poison Ivy. Now all that's left to do in the main story is to confront Joker. Joker has set up this nice entrance with a bunch of thugs clapping for us. These thugs won't attack us unless we attack them. There is an easily missable trophy here called Party Pooper, which you get for beating up the thugs celebrating your arrival. Most people just pass these thugs and go to the next room, and if you do, then you have to play the whole game over again to get to this point to get the trophy. I already knew about this trophy, so I beat up all the thugs and got the trophy. After this, I head inside and confront the Joker. Joker shows us that he's taking Commissioner Gordon as a hostage, again, which I don't even know how that happened, but whatever. Joker pulls out a gun with Titan darts and goes to shoot Gordon. Batman jumps in front of Gordon so the dart hits Batman instead. It looks like the Titan venom is about to turn Batman into a Titan, but he resists it somehow and doesn't turn. Now Joker is pissed and decides to shoot himself with the dart and turn himself into a Titan. Titan Joker then drags us to the roof and a boss fight starts. This is by far one of the worst boss fights in any Batman game. The way the fight works is Joker starts out by trying to hit us. After that, Joker then jumps up to a secondary level and tells his henchmen to beat us up. After beating up the henchman, Joker gets distracted by a news helicopter, and while he has his back turned, we can use the Batclaw to drag him to the ground. When Joker falls to the ground, his long fingers get trapped in the floor, and while he's stuck, we can beat him up. After punching him a little bit, we get one final punch and 1 bar of his health goes away. We then repeat this 2 more times. On the 3rd time, instead of Joker getting stuck in the floor, he falls through the floor and the boss fight is over. After this, Batman sprays some antidote on his fist and punches Joker in the face. This punch combined with the antidote causes the Titan effects to wear off from Joker. After this, we get 3 trophies for beating the game on easy, normal, and hard difficulty. The rest of the trophies are either cleanup trophies or challenge mode trophies. I will get into the challenge mode later, but for now, let's talk about cleanup. We must now collect the rest of the Riddler challenges to get a couple of trophies. We get the trophy Riddler Resolver for solving 85% of Riddler challenges, and we get the trophy Crack the Enigma for solving every riddle on the island. Also, I mentioned earlier in the video how one of the collectibles we have to get are called Amadeus Arkham messages. These messages are from Amadeus. Amadeus in these messages shows us how he wants to clean Gotham of all its filth, but he sometimes sounds like he wants to kill these people as well. After scanning 23 messages, there is only 1 left, but it's not shown anywhere on the map. If you go to the penitentiary and go to the room where Harley had taken the warden from earlier, you won't find the warden, but you will find some markings on the ground. Scanning these markings reveal that it was the warden, aka Quincy Sharp, who was Amadeus the whole time. Finding the secret gives us the trophy World's Greatest Detective. The last trophy we get in the story mode is called Catch, and you get this trophy by catching a batarang. There is a batarang called a remote control batarang. If you throw this batarang and turn it around and make it go towards Batman, he will catch it. Batman catching the batarang gives us the trophy. The last 13 trophies are achieved through the challenge mode. The challenge mode consists of 8 combat levels and 8 predator levels. The first 4 combat and predator levels are the same as the last 4, only difference being the last 4 have the extreme difficulty applied. So, for example, the first predator map is called Intensive Treatment, and the 5th predator map is called Intensive Treatment Extreme. The extreme difficulty on these maps is no joke, and I almost gave up getting the platinum over these challenge maps. That's how hard they are. There are 8 combat levels and 8 predator levels, and I have to get 3 stars on every single one of these levels. Getting 3 stars on the first 4 combat and predator maps is so easy that it's not worth going over, so I'll just tell you the trophies I got. Getting 8 stars on the combat maps gave me the trophy Free Flow Bronze. The trophy Flawless Free Flow Fighter you get for completing 1 combat challenge without taking damage. Doing this is very easy, especially on the first combat map. I then went on and got the trophy for getting 8 stars in predator maps. I also got the trophy Invisible Invisible Predator for completing one Predator challenge by using only silent takedowns without being spotted. This trophy is slightly hard, but if you wait for the armed henchmen to separate, then it gets a lot easier. At this point, I had completed the first 4 combat and Predator maps and got 3 stars on all of them. Before I tried the extreme maps, I decided to finish up 2 other trophies. Those trophies being Rope-a-Dope-a-Dope and Mono-e-Mono. The Rope-a-Dope-a-Dope trophy is extremely easy. To get the trophy, you have to string up one henchman and drop him to surprise a second. The Mono-e-Mono trophy is also very easy. You get this trophy by taking out a Titan henchman without using a batarang. If you play the combat map Rumble in the Jungle and get to the 4th round, you will see a Titan henchman and many normal henchmen. I first decide to take out all the normal henchmen, leaving just the Titan one. I spray some explosive gel on the ground so when the Titan runs towards me, the gel explodes, staggering the Titan. You can then beat up the Titan like normal, and after doing so, I got the trophy. The last couple of trophies are ones that require me to get 3 stars in the rest of the challenge maps. I decided to do the rest of the combat challenges first because they are by far way harder than the Predator challenges. To get 3 stars on the combat maps, you have to get a certain amount of score. You get more score by having a higher combo and not breaking that combo. Getting 3 stars on the first combat map was actually very easy, but this is just the beginning. The next 3 combat maps felt like hell on earth. Getting 3 stars felt impossible at times. The combat map Sewer Bat Extreme was one of the hardest challenge maps in this game. For starters, you have to get 50,000 points to get 3 stars, which already felt like an impossible task. But what also made this hard is there are throwable objects surrounding the map that thugs can throw at you, and they are very hard to avoid. And there is a gun locker on the map, and if that locker is opened at any point, it'll remain open for the rest of the rounds. This isn't good because if the locker is open, an inmate could easily grab a fully loaded gun and shoot me, ending my combo. I spent hours trying to get 3 stars on this map, but it just felt impossible. At one point I had a good run, but I was only able to get 2 stars. However, these 2 stars were good enough to give me the trophy for getting 16 stars in combat challenges. This wasn't good enough, however, because I need every single star available for a different trophy later on. I spent many hours trying to get the 3 stars, but no luck. I got so filled with anger and frustration that I physically started to shake. That's how mad I was. After a while of many failures, I decided to take a break. During that break, I looked up a guide on how to get 3 stars on this map. Watching the video made me realize I was going about these challenges the wrong way. Up to this point, the only moves I would do during a combat encounter is punch, ground takedown, or a standing takedown. When I watched this video, I saw this guy using multiple different moves and multiple different gadgets. For example, if you're fighting and you notice an inmate has picked up a throwable object, you can quickly throw a batarang at the guy, causing him to fall over and drop the object. It was small changes like that which helped me get the 3 stars I needed. After coming back and failing a couple times, I finally had a good run. Unfortunately, this wasn't the run where I got 3 stars, but I did accidentally get the trophy, Free Flow Perfection. This trophy is considered one of the hardest trophies to get in Batman Arkham Asylum. To get this trophy, you have to do all of Batman's combat moves without breaking your combo. There are 9 moves that Batman can do while in combat. These moves include Quickfire Batclaw, Counter, Cape Stun, Evade, Throw, a regular punch, Takedown, Quickfire Batarang, and finally, ground takedown. Doing all these moves continuously without breaking your combo is very hard, so you could imagine my surprise when I did it by accident. Regardless, that's one less trophy to worry about. And to be honest with you guys, this map is the only map that gave me trouble. Now that I know about using Batman's moves, the last 2 combat maps were surprisingly easy for me. In all honesty, I don't have much to say about them, besides I got 3 stars on the 3rd and final combat map, and I got the trophy for getting 24 stars in combat maps. All that's left is the last 4 Predator maps. Now, I wish I had something to say to hype up the end of the video, but I'm gonna be honest, these Predator maps were very easy as well. I don't know if it's because I played these maps a lot when I played this game when I was younger, but these were super easy. I got 3 stars for the rest of the Predator maps, and that's it. After finishing the last Predator map, I got the trophy for getting 24 stars on Predator maps, and I got the trophy for 100% completing Batman Arkham Asylum. After it's all said and done, the Platinum trophy pops up, and I could not be more happier to be done with this game. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and hey, if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy my last video where I got the Platinum trophy for Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. If you want to watch that video, it's on the screen right now.